Hi everyone, welcome to my kitchen. For those of you that are new, my name's Janice and I'm a Thermomix consultant. Today I'm doing an all-in-one bowl Bolognaise. So I haven't made this recipe before, which seems to be the theme of my videos lately. I do love cooking new meals, new recipes. And today I'm doing an all-in-one Bolognaise. I probably just said that, but we're going to start cooking. The reason I'm doing this one is because it's going to use the Varoma. Anyway, so I have just pulled my Thermomix out of the bowl. Just pulled this out of the dishwasher. So I knew it was empty, but I thought I'd show you anyway. So we got 20 grams of extra virgin olive oil. This is also one that uses up, it's a use everything up in your fridge recipe. Rightio. 200 grams of onions or leeks. White part only. So I've got 2 onions here. Might be a little over 200 grams, let's see. 233 grams, rightio. 3 garlic cloves, so I've got 2 little blobs of frozen minced garlic, and that's actually like the equivalent of 4 cloves of garlic. 200 grams of vegetable trimmings. So this can be whatever you've got. And the trimmings might, obviously be, these bits but I've got a bunch of broccolini, which I'm going to use up. Hang on, let's chop it with the knife since I've actually got one. So I bought this last week, but we only used a little bit of it. So it's going to be more than 200 grams. And because it's got, the other thing I'm doing is it's got a kilo of mince in it, but I'm only going to do half a kilo. So I'm going to do some extra vegetables. This is a bunch of, it's the end of a bunch of celery that I've actually frozen. I just cut it into little lengths and froze it. So I'll use half it up. Rightio. Then that can go back in the freezer. And I've got a couple of carrots. And this will be it's going to be more than 200 grams. Probably going to be closer to 400 grams. Rightio, 420. And that's the extra, I'll think of it in a minute. That's the extra vegetables to replace the meat. Next. Now we're going to put the lid on. Three seconds. Speed 5. Scrape down the sides with a spatula. What was that? That was all those vegetables. That's 3 seconds, speed 5. It never ceases to impress me how quickly it chops the vegetables down into tiny little pieces. Now without the measuring cup, 5 minutes at 120 degrees on speed 1. Right, now I'm going to take this time to sort my bench out a little bit. and I'm going to make sure I don't put away things that I actually need. So I'll be back when this is up to the next step. Now, next, we're going to add in some dried herbs. So it says 1.5 tablespoons of dried oregano. So this is a 1/2 tablespoon measure. So that means 3. One teaspoon of dried basil. It says to put in dried chili flakes, and it's optional, so I'm going to say no. 2 teaspoons of vegetable stock paste. So now I see there's lots of conversations on YouTube or on Facebook and that about not, you know, people that feel that, you know, there's too much salt in the stock paste recipe than is healthy. There's more than is healthy. Now, I really feel that, you know, when you look at your adding 2 teaspoons of stock paste to this whole dish, and that's not 2 teaspoons of salt. That's probably like 1 teaspoon of salt to 1 teaspoon of veggie, probably not even that much. Probably 1/2 teaspoon of salt to 3/4 of a to 1.5 teaspoons of vegetables we've added into this. So we've probably added between 1/2 to a teaspoon of salt into this recipe. So you'd add more than that anyway if you were just adding the salt on its own. And the vegetable stock paste just gives it a nice flavour, more, a better flavour, an improved flavour. I don't know. And this is a can of crushed tomatoes. Okay. It's funny, you can get chopped tomatoes, you can get diced tomatoes, you can get crushed tomatoes. And I'm not really sure, I just use them all interchangeably. 100 grams of tomato paste. Okay. 500 grams of water. Oh, here it is. Now I'll just show you what that looks like. Oops. Okay. A tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt. I had a salt incident when I was refilling my salt side. I spilt it all into the pepper as well. 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Now 250 grams of mixed vegetables, and they say, for example, zucchini, tomatoes or capsicum cut into quarters. So, oopsie, I'm going to add the capsicum first, and then the zucchini. Oops. And then we're going to add, see, we're up to 375 grams. I'm going to add a tomato. The rest of these tomatoes I'm going to freeze like this. It was a value, a value pack of tomatoes, and I'm just going to freeze them, and I'll make them into either chili sauce or tomato relish at another time. Right, now we're going to put the Varoma dish in place. And we're going to weigh in 1 kilo of beef mince. So I've only got, I said this before, I've only got 500 grams of beef mince. So $4.99 actually. So I'm going to crumble this up a little bit. And I've left a hole in the middle so that the steam can come through. The other way I do it is I'll put it on the Varoma tray, and that way all the steam comes up through there. Season with salt and pepper, secure Varoma lid. 22 minutes, Varoma temperature, speed 2. And this is the other thing that attracted me to this, is it's all in one. And it says all in one bowl Bolognaise, but there's no boiling the pasta separately and cooking the mince and the sauce, and it all just keeps, we just keep adding into the Varoma, into the Thermomix. Rightio, I will be back. Right. To remove the Varoma and set aside. Insert measuring cup into the mixing bowl. So we'll push all, there's a bit of sauce that's bubbled up. While we've been doing that. Next, 20 seconds on speed 6. Okay, now we're going to add in 320 grams of spaghetti cut in half. So what I've got in here is, I think, 4 different packages. That's fettuccine, and we'll just see what we've got. This is very full. What's this one? This this one is spaghetti. $3.20. Whoops. Oops. What's that? 261 or 260? What else have we got? Ooh. Some more spaghetti. So this is going to make a big batch. And we'll be able to freeze some. Okay, perfect. Stir with the spatula. My original, that was the colour of the lids on my original Thermomix Tupperware set, and then all the lids broke and they replaced it with this colour, and that's the only piece of Tupperware I've got left that's that colour. All the rest just crumbled. But saying that, I bought them before I was married, and that's like 40 years ago. So we're going to put this up and we're going to stir it with the spatula. I love this. That's just all vegetables and it looks so meaty. Okay. Rightio, what next? And then we're going to put it back on the return the aroma to position, then stir to break up the mince. So that's what our mince looks like. It's all in one big chunk. So I'm just going to give it a wibble, a bit of a wobble here and break it up. Rightio. Next, secure the Varoma lid. 10 minutes, Varoma, speed 2, until the pasta is cooked, and we'll prolong it if necessary. So I'll be back once the pasta is cooked, and I'll tell you how much longer I have to put it on for. Okay, so this is nearly cooked. I gave it an extra 5 minutes. I've transferred the mince into my serving dish, and we're going to pour the sauce and the pasta over the top. So, and I've put the empty Varoma back on top because it needed either the Varoma or the that's hot, either the Varoma or the simmering basket on top, and the Varoma was already dirty. I'm so looking forward to tasting this. This smells amazing. And it says to serve it with Parmesan cheese. Now that is one big pot of sauce. So anyone that says that the Thermomix, only it doesn't make big enough meals, I would challenge them to try this recipe, because I don't know that this is all going to fit. So I said before that the only piece of Tupperware I had left that was this colour was the serving thing out of the spaghetti canister, and then I pulled this out too as our serving spoon. So straight up, but I don't think I've got anything else. I think everything else is broken. Rightio. I've just got the pasta's in a bit of a knot around the, okay, the blades. And I want to get some of the brown off the bottom. Because we all know that's where all the delicious is. Rightio. Okay, I'm going to continue with that, but I might continue with that after we've had a taste and I've finished the video off, because I don't really think you want to watch me scrape every single last bit out. Righto. I've just mixed the mince through there. I've got a little fork here. Rightio. That wasn't beef mince that I used, it was a pork and veal mince. And that's all I had. I do prefer a beef mince in like lasagna or Bolognaise, but that was all I had, so. Rightio, let's give it a taste. Can you see the steam coming up that? Very hot. That is very, very, very nice. Probably needs a little bit more salt. I'll just taste the sauce without all the pasta in it. Delicious. I do like that. Rightio. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, could you please give it a thumbs up, pop over to my channel and subscribe, and I really hope I'll see you next time.